everybody, Cosmic Christy here with a little energy update for September 18th, 2017 and Monday. So, I know we look at astrology, and I am not an astrologist. I am trying so hard to understand astrology. There's so many different aspects, and it's wonderful to learn. But I can give you a little. My goal is to give a little bit of information just about the day and what kind of energies and where the sun and the moon is. Give you a different perspective from a Mayan calendar approach that might resonate with some of you. And today we will also be talking about synchronicities and what they mean when you see them and why the heck are you seeing them, right? So first, I like to start with today we are a waning crescent moon. We are just 2 days away on the 18th for a new moon, and I don't know about you. I love new moons. I'm a Libra, and typically, you'll find that different signs, as you research, you'll realize that you have different manifesting powers than someone else. You might not have the same time. So, I've got a good girlfriend that the full moon is hers. I mean, she has the most strength and power to manifest what she's looking for and get rid of the old past and energies and things in her life that she wants to go away in the full moon. For me, I do that as well. I try really hard to get rid of whatever is going on right now, with my full moon and have at least a little ceremony with myself. But I know that for me and my powers are with the new moon. So I'm always looking for the new moons. And we are at 8 degrees Virgo right now of a waning crescent moon. So the waning crescent moon, if you're not familiar, like I wasn't familiar, that means that the moon is getting closer to the sun as viewed from the earth. So we are going to have a Virgo new moon. Right now, the sun is at 26 degrees of Virgo, so when it gets 27 degrees of Virgo, we will have that new moon, and I'll give you a timestamp of when that's going to happen in various places, and you can get that information on other astrology channels as well. The other thing that is really nice to remember if you don't have time to watch those astrology videos is we still have many, many planets that are in retrograde and aspects. So even right now, post-eclipse, which, again, the energies and everything that happened from post-eclipse are still being transmuted, still, especially from the solar flares. We're still feeling a lot of that lovely energy, sometimes lovely, sometimes a little, but that's what we're still feeling. We still have Uranus and Neptune and Pluto, Chiron, and True Node are all still in retrograde. So maybe at some point we can get a little bit more balanced in here. But right now, this is what the galaxy wants us to work with, and God's got it on. So we're rolling with the flow. So that's a little bit on astrology. Now, the new thing that I'm introducing is more from a Mayan perspective. We all have and are finding out as we go through our ascension process that we have different maybe emotions, memories, phobias, fears, either a love or a hate type of relationship with different eras. From I'm very attached to the Egyptian times. I feel definitely that it's somewhere in those Egyptian period that my soul was incarnated in that time. Not really sure who yet, because remember I'm a 4-month-old awakened baby. So there's a lot of you guys that have way more experience than me, and some of you I hope that are watching that are just now wondering what the heck is going on. So these soul remembrance, your Akash, your DNA, as we go through these ascension processes that the universe and the sun is bringing to us, and we're raising our frequency, we're starting to remember things, and maybe they're not this blast of perfect inline vision, but there's something that will work as a catalyst for us to remember those things. So unless you guys really hate this and don't want to listen, let me know. Otherwise, let's give it a shot and see if maybe any of this kind of awakens or helps in your process. So today, for September 18th, the symbol is a white mirror. And I'm sorry, it's not a symbol. They call it a sign. So let me see if you can see it. This is I'm sorry for my scribble scrabble. This is the sign, white mirror. And if you do, you can get a Mayan reading, just like you can in natal chart. And this will tell you what energies kind of like a natal chart where you have you've got Uranus in this part and Saturn in this part. So, most likely this is how you're going to act, or this is what your mission would be, if you stayed on track. The Mayans had the same thing, believe it or not, just a little bit different. And it will tell you the different signs, and they all will be part of this. So some of you will have, the white mirror in your reading if you choose to do so. But for September 18th, the white mirror, and it says this is day 18. The white mirror reflects essence is order, power of endlessness and eternity. So the white mirror is the final think it day in the cycle of refining and reflecting. Mirror days are days of duality. We're all familiar with duality. So we're working hard to get past the white mirror. The energy can damage or heal, bring clarity or confusion, and it is up to each individual on how they will employ it. It's a great day for healing relationships or letting them go, also for getting rid of clutter or cloudy thinking. Use this final white day in the cycle to reflect on your goals, targets, and their progress, and make any refinements you deem necessary. Just remember the words of Anas Nin: we don't see things as they are, we see things as we are. Let me read that part again, just this last part. Just remember the words of Anais, and I'm sorry if I'm spelling it right, it's Anais, Nin. We don't see things as they are. We see things as we are. And wow, that kind of sums it all up, doesn't it? For me, it does. It's, again, what Source has been telling all of us, Creator, it's all about ourselves. It's just so hard to remember that, isn't it, in this process here on Earth. So let's look at this just a little bit more in detail. There's so many that describe us as mirrors, and especially when we walk down this awakening path, and you get in an argument with somebody and you feel like you have, man, I was right. Like, why are we even arguing? Because in the end, I was right and you were wrong, or vice versa. And then when you really step back and you read something like this, or even if hopefully some of us can have that cognitive thought at some point in that argument that says, wait a minute, am I just reflecting back? This is my problem. This isn't an argument between right and wrong. This is an issue that I need to work on because I'm projecting it to you. So yeah, then it's coming right back at me. It's really strong. It's a great day for healing relationships or letting them go. And I think right now, especially right now, in 2017, and this is going to go on for some time for a lot of us. There's a lot of star seeds and old souls and empaths and sensitives that have awakened at this point. We know that the first wave has completely, that time has come for the first wave of the awakened ones and the way showers. And we have a second wave that is now started, and then there'll be a third wave. And then I just want to say right now, this wasn't prepared, but thank you so much to the way showers that came before us. I'm so very grateful to all of you. Even if it was just someone who stood up and said their truth for 5 minutes just one time, I just want to say thank you, and I'm very grateful for that. So it's a great day for healing relationships or letting them go. And this is so hard because either A, you feel like you don't really have, maybe you don't even have another place to go. Maybe you don't even have another place to live if you let that relationship go. Or that's the fear. In reality, if you stand your ground and show others that you're trying to mend this relationship with, how you have changed, how you're not reacting, there may be an opportunity there to salvage something. And this has been heavy on my heart. So I have a relationship in my life that I care and love somebody very much. I've spent a lot of time with this person. And, you know, right now I'm just not really sure if we're seeing eye to eye because of the changes that I'm going through, basically. And it's these changes, me talking to you, changing careers, a change in belief system, a change in spiritual thought, down to the way I look. Even my body has changed because of my eating habits have changed. And we'll talk about that stuff too. But yeah, do you blame them? You know, I really don't blame them. Whenever you go to sleep at night with somebody and then you wake up and all of a sudden they talk different, believe in different things, don't want to watch the same things, don't even want to eat the same foods. Hell, their clothes in their closet doesn't fit them anymore. So there's that time in the middle that when you have people in your life that are going, okay, wait a minute, now who is she? And we have to remember that. And that's very hard because at first we just want to push them out the door and leave. I'll be honest, that's, you know, walking out the door and leaving has been in the past my issue. But that's not how we need to handle any relationship. And I think that God is really trying to put this in our heart as well. Because in a lot of ways, these are just little tests. They're tests and they're learning curves. We're learning. If we can't figure out how to tell our family and our significant others and our children what's going on with us, what's happened to us, to explain it as ascension doesn't mean anything to most of them. So working on that relationship and then leaving it open and not creating any karmic debt, you know, because that's been paid for. The Mayans did have that date right. December 21st, 2012 at 11:11 Universal Standard Time. It is my understanding that karmic debt had been paid in full, that God had forgiven all of us, and which is why we're still here. So I think I got off on a little bit of a tangent, but I know that this is a relationship area. It's been very stressful on myself, and I know personally other starseeds that their companion relationships have been a lot of what's holding them back from their missions. So I do want to talk more about this. What I hope to bring as we look at the energies of the day, and on top of, different astrology charts and things like that you're watching on dailies. But I hope that this will give us some opportunity to know, okay, maybe let's test it out. Maybe we can talk about this today. So back to the reading. Relationships or letting them go. Also for getting rid of clutter or cloudy thinking. Let's be realistic. I mean, I don't know about you. Consciously and the collective has been really cloudy with everything going on in the world. And just remember, guys, it's back to that mirror. We're holding up that mirror as a thing. That's the way we see things. So we see things as we are. We don't see things as they are. So try to keep in the present, especially with everything going on in the world. If we can all just keep in the present and keep peace and just don't accept it into your reality at all, don't watch the news, then that's your mirror reflecting for this day. Use this final white day in the cycle to reflect on your own targets and their progress and make any refinements you deem necessary. I don't know about you, but life is moving really fast right now. Time is moving very fast right now. So, especially learning curves. I'm learning something new every day, and I'm sure you are too. So it's okay. If you've set up this dream, or you've set up this company, or you've set up, this is what you're going to do every day. This is what we're going to, set up. This is going to be my daily schedule. And then you get into it and you're pushing and pushing and it's just too difficult and it's not working. Like these videos, I was going to do them every day and I still hope to get to that point. But in the meantime, last week when I didn't, guess what I did? I beat myself up about it. Well, that didn't help. I'm being really honest here because I don't want to be, I don't know everything. I'm new. I'm new to Ascension. Most of y'all might know more than me, but I'm here as the real person going through it. And so I want to admit those things to you. I'm sharing you my whole truth. All right. So it also gives us examples on where to meditate. Pure self-sacrifice, discriminating discipline, facing the shadows, wielding the sword of wisdom, and well-coordinated timelessness, charity, clarity, and ritual. So the other thing that the Mayans did, which is going to lead us into the synchronicity talk, is they had each day, so they had tones. There's 13 tones. And it just so happens that today is tone 1. So tone 1 in the Mayan calendar is magnetic. So magnetic attracts power to unify, essence and purpose. And let me tell you what they say about tone 1. This has to do with the cycles, and this will lead us into the synchronicities that we're seeing and give a little bit more insight into the numbers and what they mean not only now, but what they also meant in the 5th century BCE, which is when the Mayan calendar was in use. So the first day of the galactic tone cycle is magnetic, and it's the initiator, the source creation. It shows us how through purpose and unity we attract everything we desire in the ever-changing now. I love that. The ever-changing now. Today, combine your natural artistic ability with teaching others about self-love and growth, and practice unconditional love wherever you can. Look for ways that you can experience more oneness in your community, your family, and those around you. And meditating on new beginnings, creation, unity, love, and back to wisdom. So I hope you guys like this. Maybe I'll try it out through the synchronicity talks and see if we want to continue them. So now for more of the fun stuff. Since today is tone 1, and I'm not even sure if we'll learn through doing these together, because I haven't done the research to find out if tone 1 is because the day adds up to 1, or if there's another 13th tone. I think it has something to do with leap year, etc. So we'll look into that together. But numerology is something I'm not seeing a whole lot of on YouTube. And again, I'm a beginner, but with numerology, I was able to grasp it a lot faster than astrology, just because it's not as intricate and there aren't so many different avenues that you can go into. So I've been starting to use it in my life, and how I started using it is because I started seeing them everywhere. September is, of course, your 9th month. We're on day 18, and it's year 2017. So when you're looking at dates, right, we can use these numbers here. Then you add that up, and it's 2044. I hope that this isn't all backwards, but I think it is. 2044. And then you just add them up until you get one digit. So then you go 2 plus 0 is 2, plus 4 is 6, plus 4, you get 10. And you can have an energy of 10, which is a different reading, or you can get that down to 1. Usually this won't go up any higher than 13. Even now, the Mayans had set up that 13 tones, and they're still used today. So there are still only 13 energies. So if you got 14, then you do 4 plus 1 would be 5. And if this is all backwards, then you can get a major laugh on me. So let's just laugh right now. Freaking retarded. All right. So today is 1, has the energy of 1, the tone of 1. But what does that mean? Well, 1 is, of course, as you can gather, is a powerful number. It produces results and does not allow anything to limit its potential. I mean, you're starting with 1. You know, back to 1 is what the movie producers say. So 1 is also the start of cycles. And most natural cycles, like the planting cycles, I know are 9 cycles. There's 9 cycles of birth. There's 9 cycles of many things, and I have these. We'll talk about those on a 9-day. 9's my favorite day. 9's my favorite number. But what else do these numbers mean, right? So today is a 1. It's a start. Okay, so what does that mean? That means if you are gonna start a workout routine, or you want to, any type of project, doesn't have to be big. It could be getting the house straight. It could be organizing your books. It could be doing some type of chore that you put off, or something that you've been prolonging to do because you knew it was going to be difficult. Well, on a 1 day, you've got some extra energy behind you to get it going, just like me doing this video after a little moment. So use those ones, and if you kind of start looking at those things, and I'll help you because we'll keep looking at these dates. But it's really helped me now that I understand more to see when I should start things and when I shouldn't. It wouldn't be good for me to start, let's say, a company, open my doors on a 9-year or 9-day, because that's the end of a cycle. So I'm kind of getting in too late. That bet's already been posted and paid out, and here I come with the ticket. So it is important to understand, especially going back to the Mayan times and to ancient times, because they used different calendars and they used different ways of realizing and figuring out how to use this information in their life. But it was different than our Gregorian calendar, because ours is not nature and doesn't follow the cycles of nature. So all these are trying to do is get us back into these cycles of nature so that we can allow nature to help us, especially if we've got the right intent. Now, what if you're seeing numbers all the time? So let's just, now that we're on 1 and we understand today is a 1 day, and okay, great, that means, Christy, I can start a project today and got a little bit better shot of working. But are you seeing numbers a lot? On the clock, and not even ones, let's just don't worry about ones. Let's just say you're driving down the street and you always look at the clock and it is always 4:44. No matter how many times you look at the clock, when you really need to, right? It's all random numbers, but then whenever you're really not watching the time and just by chance you look over and it's 4:44. And then you just realize that, oh my gosh, I just saw 4:44 over there. What's happening? And what does this mean? Well, you're getting assistance is what it means. It means that, all around us, there's so much that science is going to discover that is even in between you, this camera, and me right now. In this air that we say nothing is here. Yes, there's a lot here. And so your angels are here, and your ascended masters are here, and your guides are here. And most, a lot of us call it our team. Your higher self is here, Your archangels are here. So if you're called them in, you have to ask them. Don't forget to ask them. But what that is basically, it's someone tapping. It's like one of your angels tapping you on the shoulder and saying, hey, you just asked me all these questions. Driving down the road, you just asked me, what should I do about my job? And angels, help me. What should I do about this? This reminds me of Jim Carrey when he's driving in the car and he's, Bruce Almighty. And he's like, God, please just show me a sign. And the sign truck pulls up and he's like, swerves out of the way. He's like, please show me a sign. Right? They're all just hitting us in our faces, but we don't know how to read them. So when you get that little, you don't even know what it is. You look at the clock, and let's just bring it back to the ones, because we'll talk about the ones today. And let's say you see 11:11. Constantly, or 111. Well, first of all, a lot of you know that 11:11 is the awakening sign. It just across the nations, across the world, 11:11 has been chosen as this awakening sign. Our children are seeing it, and I'll tell you a little story about that in a minute, which my mouth felt open. 11:11 means that you are getting divine messages, and that your thoughts are being manifested immediately. So let's think about this. It's 11:11, you're at work, you're waiting for lunch to come, you've had a horrible day, you just want lunch to come, and you are just sitting there having some unnice thoughts maybe about your boss. And you look up at the clock and it's 11:11. Well, your thoughts probably aren't something that you want to manifest right then. So that 11:11 is that angel telling you, hey, let's switch your way of thinking. Remember, that's the old energy, that's the old way. How can we make this better? Or what perception can we take in this situation? And to quickly change your thought process so you can manifest more of what you want instead of more of what you don't want. So I have a little story about this. So I have a 9-year-old, And 1111, as we all know, is this universal sign for awakening and ascension, especially right now in 2017. But of course, my 9-year-old doesn't know much about any of this, just some of the stuff he overhears mom talk about. And one day we were in the car and he said, "Oh, look, Mom, it's 11:11." And I said, "Oh yeah, baby, you know about awakening and ascension?" "No, we just play this game in school." "Well, what's the game?" "Well, if we all look at the clock, if we happen to look at the clock and it says 11:11, then we turn our head real quick and we make a wish. And if we turn back around and the clock is still at 11:11, then the wish comes true. If it's 11:12, no wish." So my mouth just completely fell open. I couldn't believe. So listen to your kids. They know this stuff. They're in the collective consciousness sometimes more than we are, just because, thank goodness, they haven't been involved as much as a reprogramming type of situations as adults that we have been in so long. So that's something, I don't know, and now that's the game I play, right? Because that is what the divine message is. 11:11. 11:11 is also the coded molecular structure of the world. And it's meant to, as a signal for us to remember who we really are, our soul, those things that we're all uncovering, starting to uncover, hoping to uncover, or maybe we don't even know at this point that there's something to uncover. So my answer is yes, there is something to uncover. And as you start seeing more 11:11s or 1:11, then now you know that you are entering into this process that everyone on earth is going through right now in some degree. It's also related to biological ascension. When you see 11:11, your cellular memory is reactivated. So, man, I'm loving this number. With a number, I hope all the numbers have so much going on for us in this positive way. Okay, so let's think about it. So 11:11 means number one. What are you thinking about? Well, and this is, again, if you catch it, right? Because you have to, it's that visual and it's that timing. So if you see 11:11 or on a license plate, it could be on a house number. Who knows where you're seeing it? If you see 11:11 or 1:11, okay, then number one, what are you thinking about? Because it could be manifesting instantly. So we need to make sure that we are in the highest vibration and talking to our highest self, making sure our spirit guides, please, help me change my way of thought or perception right now. Two, it means that molecularly, when our eyes see that number, then it triggers our brain into activating memories. So what comes to mind? Maybe that's something that we should start paying attention to. And number three, not only is it putting us into this remembrance, but it's also biologically, your cellular memory is trying to remember. This could come across in, I know many people, even myself, have some different languages that are starting to come out that we're not even, they're more like historical languages. I don't really know if it's light language at this point, but different languages, different appetites of eating. Just your cellular body is catching up with your soul. So some of that remembrance of past lives is coming out, which is all about what is going on right now with ascension. Let me see what else I've got. I took notes this time. Hope it helps. You may have a sense of what you have long forgotten. Yes, 1111 also means that you're on the path of awakening and you are being called to awaken. So if you're seeing 1111 and you keep blowing it off, and maybe some other things in your life aren't going quite the way you think they should, you feel like everything's perfect and I really don't need to change, you will keep seeing this number. And things will most likely keep happening until you recognize and you accept that. It's free will. Everything's free will here. So please don't, I'm not pushing anybody to do anything. But recognize that you will continue to see it. And each time you'll be able to make your own decision. The 1111 also means that your direct channels are open to your higher self. So great time to ask to make sure, Okay, we had a little edit there, so cross your fingers. Now I've got to figure out how to splice two videos together, and remember, I don't speak buttons. Definitely know I'm ready for some quantum technology now. Okay, one little final thing on 1111. So 1111, the last little point is that 1111 also means back to that 0 point of merging physical and non-physical messages, to stop the mundane activity and look at a broader portrait of your life, not just the brushstroke. So, you can look at 1111 and the awakening in so many different ways. We've gone over the numbers and what they, bless you, Axel, and what they might mean, and kind of got into a little bit of numerology, which we will dive into deeper at a later point. But we're using these words ascension and awaken, but I think that this last point really, all of us can grasp this. And let me read it one more time. It just means to stop the mundane, those things that we do subconsciously all day long that we really don't even realize we're doing anymore, because it's part of our program in this lifetime, and it's part of our regimen. It's just been something that we do every single day, and to the point where we don't even know we're doing it anymore. And a lot of our lives have gotten that way. And that's why 1111 is happening. That's why there's a new spiritual awakening on earth. That's why things are happening naturally and unnaturally to humans right now, because we have gotten so mundane that we've forgotten how to be compassionate and how to care for each other, and what really lights us up, and what really makes us happy, and what are we really here for. And it's not simple and it's not easy, but no matter what you're going through, no matter what you've been through, no matter what people have done to you, just remember that you're not alone, and you're not a victim. You're a survivor. And this is just a big way for Mother Earth to recalibrate herself at the same time that she's recalibrating us as humans to live better lives and love each other. So hopefully I will get these merged together, and tomorrow we will look at the sign for the 19th, the number. We'll go over some synchronicities for twos and what they mean, because we'll have a tone 2. And if there's anybody out there that actually knows the tones, that would be wonderful. Please chat. And we will also kind of and go through some different ways that you can look for these signs and these numbers when you're seeing them, and look them up, because I have been completely amazed on once I got comfortable and my angels started showing me numbers, and I started looking them up and actually taking count of them, what they were able to show me. And it's not all just an angel. And here's Axel. Say hi to everybody. Axel's a rescue, and his name is Axel, A-K-S-E-L, which is the Father of Peace. And here's Hoot. So just remember, guys, I will see you tomorrow. If you need anything that would help that I could share in the videos from anything I've said so far, if y'all have any criticism, positive, or I can even take some of the negative, I'm interested in those. Please subscribe to my channel. I know it's been a little bit spotty, but I it's plan on being back tomorrow and the day after that. So remember to thank everyone and be grateful. I'm grateful for the 100 or so people that have seen my videos so far. I'm grateful for the people who haven't. I'm grateful for the people who have subscribed. And thank you to the all of the all of the all, for I am not small. And I get an amen from my trillion angels. Say amen. All right, we're out. Looks like someone's got to go outside. I love you all, and we'll learn together. And I can't wait to learn from all of you as well. So, namaste.